Hey guys, this is Natalie from Inspired Alignment. I am coming on today to do a quick reading for messages from the Divine Masculine's higher self to his Divine Feminine. So not everybody is going to resonate with this reading. Of course, twin flames or divine counterparts, this message is mainly going to be for you. And even then, everybody's kind of in a different stage of this journey if you do resonate with it. So, take whatever resonates and whatever doesn't, just go ahead and dismiss it. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with messages that the Divine Masculine's higher self would like his Divine Feminine to know during this time. Okay, Spirit. What are the most important messages that Divine Masculines are wanting their Divine Feminine to know during this time? Messages from the Divine Masculine's higher self. Okay, the first card we have is Choice. Second card is Death and Rebirth. Next card is the Hero. Then we have Knowledge, the Essential, the Two of Fire, the Maiden, the Three of Air, the Five of Fire, and the Self card. Okay. So I'm definitely seeing, and this has been a common theme just for the month of February in general, that there are major choices and decisions that are having to be made. And I definitely feel like this is happening a lot on the masculine collectives. And it's happening more so in their life. I think it's happening in everybody's life, but there's definitely a highlight here for those who hold this masculine type of an energy. So at this point in time, they are going through some things where they're having to make choices and decisions, cut certain things out of their life, start moving on to new paths. And I do think that some of these choices and decisions have been very difficult for a lot of these Divine Masculines. But there is a definite death and rebirth process going on here. So I feel like these choices and decisions are being made. They're in the process of being made in order for new things to, for old things to die and for new things to be reborn within their lives and within this connection. I do get a sense of them feeling a little bit more empowered, a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more able to kind of see the truth about what is going on around them. And it's having them kind of step into this hero type of an energy where they're almost like a warrior in some way. And I think that after this choice and decision is made and they go through this death and rebirth process here, they're going to feel even more empowered after they're releasing themselves from things that are just no longer good for them anymore. I do see here that a lot of the Divine Masculines are doing research and trying to gain knowledge on spirituality in general, and even towards the twin flame connection. I do pick up a message here that some of the Divine Masculines are noticing that there's something here within this connection that has some kind of a hold on them, something that they find very hard to ever let go of. It's constantly always around them in some way. And so they're kind of seeking out some kind of information or knowledge about kind of the twin flame dynamic and journey, to kind of see what this is exactly and what this means for them. I feel like a lot of like reading, studying, even like self-help books or just looking into different things to kind of um, change the way that they see things or to understand things a little bit better. I think that there's a lot of conflict going on within themselves because of the choices and decisions that they have to make, because they're battling within themselves kind of about what the right choice is to make, this battle between the mind and the heart. Um, but I do see them really kind of seeking out like information and knowledge um, when it comes to doing this, and recognizing um, more about what this means for them. And I also get a sense that they're seeing their divine feminine kind of rising up and stepping into like a new type of energy and vibration and doing a little bit like better for herself, like moving on to her mission and kind of like moving forward in life with certain things. And they're kind of trying to figure out how this happened for the divine feminine, and trying to kind of do the work to figure out how they can do this for themselves. And ultimately, I feel like this is kind of putting them in an energy of like solitude, an energy of self-reflection. Some of them may even be starting to like meditate or explore things more on a spiritual level, just so that they can kind of connect and understand to they can understand more about the energy that is going on within this connection. Okay, so let's see what other messages we can get here from the Divine Masculine. What else does the Divine Masculine want Divine Feminine to know about this choice card? Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles. So I do feel like, well, for some masculines, the choice that is being made is revolving around finances, money, or stability in some way. And I also feel like they know that once a choice is made, that there is going to be some kind of a new opportunity or a gift that is handed to them in some way. Okay, so let's see about the Death and Rebirth card here. Yeah, so we have the Prince of Cups here. I feel like, yeah, this is kind of this death and rebirth process of kind of moving more into the emotional self, moving more into like a heart space, but it's still like at a very like immature level. It isn't exactly the Page of Cups, but the Prince of Cups, you know, is almost like a teenage type of an energy. So, you know, they're still kind of like working on becoming like the king or the emperor when it comes to where they need to be on an emotional level, but they're definitely going through this transformative process right now. Okay. For the Hero card, yeah, I definitely feel like there is like a sense and a knowing of like a past life relationship here, that there's kind of something going on behind the scenes that isn't exactly seen in the physical. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, after this death and rebirth, after this choice is made and it's in this death and rebirth process is like getting closer to the end of like this new rebirth, there is going to be like this empowerment driven type of energy towards kind of reuniting with a person that they recognize as somebody who is kind of divinely guided or divinely destined to be part of their life. So definitely like some choices and like a process that is kind of going like being made here, but ultimately, you know, at the end of this, there is like this reconciliation and this like strength towards going towards that. Okay. Yeah, so definitely here we have the Lovers, definitely doing some research on spirituality in general, the twin flame dynamic, what that means. You know, trying to figure out why this has such a hold on them. And this is also through that research, I feel like kind of helping them to make choices and decisions that need to be made. Okay, here we have the King of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, they are trying to step more into this King of Wands energy here. Like I get a sense of like observing, trying to like figure something out. A very like passionate energy here. I feel like the divine feminines in this dynamic have moved forward and started doing new things, and that's almost kind of motivating the divine masculine in some way, but they still feel like they need some kind of research, some kind of information to back up that this is like something that's like real. And they're kind of like battling back and forth about this, but I definitely see like a major like interest in wanting to know more about this, wanting to know more about what they're seeing going on within the divine feminine, and like kind of how they can get themselves into that space as well. Okay, how about the Self card? Yeah, the King of Cups here. So yeah, definitely a focus on the self here, really kind of tapping into more spiritual type of things, which may not normally be something that masculine energies are familiar with, but I do see like a highlight of like trying to meditate, trying to kind of tap into the more spiritual side of things, trying to tap into their intuition, receiving synchronicities and messages from the universe. I also feel like Kundalini energy going on here, and this is ultimately bringing them into a King of Cups energy where they are more emotionally balanced, as opposed to just kind of being up in the mind and just always focusing on what the mind wants or what the mind, you know, thinks should happen here. Okay. So let's see what else we can get. What about this choice card with the Ace of Pentacles? Yeah, so there's definitely like some wishing and hoping for things to change, but there's a definite decision and move that they have to make in order for this to happen. But they really are wishing and hoping for a new beginning here. They're taking a closer look at the other relationships and situations going on around them. Okay. Yeah, this death and rebirth. I feel like, you know, it's because they know that they have to kind of go through this death and rebirth process. They feel like it's kind of like taking a chance. They're taking like some kind of a gamble here, which is why I think it's coming up as a Knight of Cups here instead of just the King of Cups. Because they're a little bit hesitant to kind of go through like this kind of like dying process here. Yeah, and there could definitely be some choices and decisions that have to be made towards either the divine feminine or towards a karmic partner that is in their life. And they feel like they're taking a risk or a chance here, by kind of like going through this transformation in this process. Yeah, but I do definitely see that they are taking a closer look at maybe even some things that have come up for them regarding like past life relationships, regarding like the knowing of having a spiritual connection with somebody. Um, they're definitely, I feel like, seeing things differently now. They're seeing a lot of things within the environments around them and the relationships around them much differently. They're seeing even this twin flame connection or divine counterpart connection in a different way, and they're definitely taking a closer look at this and what it means. Okay, yeah. I feel like they know that this is something higher. This is something kind of written in the stars. It's something divinely guided. Some of them could definitely be kind of looking into astrology, um, birth charts, tarot, even just kind of exploring different things in the realm of spirituality here, because I feel like they know that there's something going on here that's kind of outside of their control in some way. Yeah, I feel like some are wanting to reach out here. They're definitely thinking about reaching out in some way and delivering a message, because they do have some inner conflict, and after doing some kind of like research or study, they are coming to some realizations, and they're wanting to kind of reach out to the divine feminine in some way, but this is something that they're just kind of deliberating on at the moment. And if you're already in contact with this person, they're wanting to share specific information with you in regards to like these things that they're learning on a spiritual level, but they're just kind of like a little hesitant on doing it right now. I feel like for some of them, they've experienced like strong telepathy and stuff like that, and they're wanting to kind of share that with the divine feminine, but they're hesitant about it. But I do get an energy of them kind of wanting to bridge the gap here between themselves and the divine feminine. Yeah, I feel like these divine masculines are definitely protected on a spiritual level. Um, I feel like, through some of this like knowledge and information that they're gaining, and even some of the spiritual work that they are doing on their own, it is kind of bringing like this field of protection around them so that they can continue to move on this correct path here. Because I feel like, for these divine masculines here, this connection is protected, and so like each person within that connection is also protected. And I feel like even though the masculines at some point didn't feel like there was any kind of protection for them, they were just kind of very open and vulnerable, they're starting to realize that that they are protected in some way here, and that this connection is protected. Okay, so let's get a couple cards on like what we can expect here in the future with some of these energies. So this decision and choice, I do feel like they're going to kind of maybe let someone into their space to help give them advice on this decision and choice that needs to be made. They're kind of like letting somebody into this wall that they've built up around themselves, so that they can get that extra support in making this choice and decision that needs to be made here. Yeah, and then here's this death and rebirth. Or, I mean, here's the strength card with the death and rebirth. So, I mean, yeah, even though there's like a risk of taking a chance, having to do with another feminine or the divine feminine, I feel like they are having to find the strength here to continue to go through this process. I think that Spirit is really kind of pushing them forward into this direction. Okay, yep. And then here are the Ten of Pentacles. So definitely after kind of going through this making of the decision, going through this death and rebirth process, they're kind of becoming the hero of, you know, their own self in their own life. They're looking closer at some of the connections within their life, including the connection they have with their twin flame or divine counterpart. And it is ultimately bringing them abundance, financially, emotionally, you know, like, I think releasing the things that are toxic and holding them back and kind of going through this like death of the old and the bringing in of the new is actually bringing in, you know, a lot of prosperity for them. Yeah, I get a sense here like, again, like almost like this twin flame energy, like looking at the reflection. They are kind of recognizing the reflection that is happening here with this connection, and kind of seeing exactly how this dynamic works and is playing out. On more than just a physical level. Like they're really seeing how this feminine energy is kind of a reflection of themselves. Okay, yep, we have the Six of Cups here. So I feel like returning to the past. I think after like some deliberation, wanting to communicate, wanting to send a message, they will decide to have some kind of reconcile here in the future, because they're coming to so many realizations here. And then the Queen of Wands. So yeah, I get like this fiery movement, action forward after kind of stepping into this more emotionally mature energy, realizing that they are protected in all situations as long as they are being true to themselves and working on themselves. They are, you know, finding themselves in this very like confident, driven type of energy here. Let's get one more card on this. Yeah, and it's ultimately bringing them towards, you know, their divine counterpart, or towards this like reunion or the bringing together of these two people, them, the divine masculine with the divine feminine here. And for some of you guys who resonate, this, you could be the divine feminine, who would be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius female. For others of you, you could just definitely be embodying this energy, because, you know, I do see that most of the feminine energies here are moving forward, and they're making moves. They've already kind of stepped into mission, and that's kind of been what's driving the masculine to do this as well. And so I feel like after they do some of this work here, and they become like more emotionally mature, they are going to be coming towards this divine feminine that is already kind of in this role of being on mission, and really kind of accepting and trying to be a part of this connection, more in the physical. Okay, so let's just get a couple more messages to see what else we need to know about this. Other messages from the divine masculine's higher self to his divine feminine. Awareness. Yeah, so definitely most of the masculines are in awareness. They have the awareness that something is going on here that is kind of bigger than them, that there is like a strong connection that they have with another person. So they're definitely like trying to research this and find out more information on it and like take more action towards it. And then we have magic, yeah, which kind of goes with this awareness. You know, I think a lot of masculine energies kind of don't really believe in this kind of stuff, or, you know, the magic and miracles of things that can happen. But I think it kind of goes hand in hand with this awareness. You know, they are, you know, in the awareness that there's like all these other things playing out. And there is a sense of something that is magical here, especially with this divine counterpart that they have. All right, let's just get one more message here. Yep, a blessing on your day. Yes, so I feel like day by day the masculines are kind of working through this. I feel like there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of other situations, third party, external situations going on in their life that is kind of, you know, falling apart or falling away. And so they're having to take it day by day and really just find some kind of positive enjoyment within every day, no matter what is kind of happening around them. And then a blessing for a fresh start, definitely. You know, all of this kind of energy that's happening with them right now is ultimately moving them into a fresh start and a fresh new beginning, with their divine counterpart, with their divine feminine. And I do kind of pick up like winter time here, and I see another eclipse here as well. So there could be an eclipse that's coming more towards the end of winter, where this may come together, you know, more towards that time. And then here we have a blessing on the senses that gift the world to you. So definitely I feel like they are tapping more into spirituality here. They're picking up on, you know, things that they haven't been able to before. They're seeing things clearly. Some of them I think are even realizing that they have gifts that they didn't know that they had. So definitely I feel like their own senses are starting to heighten, which is also a reason why they're looking into this and researching this more. So you guys, I hope that these messages helped you, and I will see you soon. Take care.